Student debt has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go,
hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho.
Student debt has got to go. Can't pay.
Won't pay.
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 Won't pay. Can't pay.
Won't pay.
Can't pay.
Won't pay.
Can't pay.
Won't pay.
Can't pay.
Won't pay.
Can't pay.
Won't pay.
Can't pay.
Won't pay.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. What do we want?
Debt cancellation.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? Cancel the debt. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Cancel the debt.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Cancel the debt.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Cancel the debt.
When do we want it?
Now.
Education is a right. Education is a right.
Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right. Education is a right.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Can't pay!
Won't pay! Debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Student debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Student debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Student debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Student debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Student debt has got to go! Hey, hey! Totally boring. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Student debt has got to go.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Sweet. Well, thank you everyone for being here. My name's Jonathan. I'm with the Vermont Debt Collective. And we are here striking for full student debt cancellation and college for all. We're striking because as a country we have disinvested from our public education. education, and we've excluded people, and we have noticed that people who do get an education are burdened with debt. We are here because we know that that debt is unjust. We know that people deserve to be able to get an education, and we know that that debt needs to be canceled. Now, there are some of us who are on debt strike. And I just want to say a little bit about what that is because it's still kind of a weird idea. But it's just like a labor strike. In a labor strike, you withhold your labor to fight for better working conditions and a more just and equitable workplace. And in a debt strike, we withhold our payments to fight for a more just and equitable world. Because for every form of debt, whether it's student debt, medical debt, rent debt, we know that there is a social system underneath that where people have been exploited, where profit has been valued over people's lives, over what we need and deserve to live a healthy and dignified life. And that is why we're striking, not just to have this debt canceled, but to make sure that no one goes into debt for these things again. And now I'm going to hand it off to Kunimoto from Brattleboro Solidarity.
So first I want to say how inspiring it is to see youth out here fighting for this cause. And if you didn't get a chance to hear Jonathan on Indigo Radio, he gave a great interview really going into depth about the connections between debt and privatization and exploitation. So I encourage you to listen to the interview that he gave.
I'm from Brattleboro Solidarity, and we believe that our society is arranged at this moment to make the basic human necessities a privatized commodity. So as Ellen there has assigned, education is a commodity.
It's not a commodity.
And so, right, it's not a commodity, but it is a commodity in this current system, right? Which means that we have to pay for it. But privatization is actually a Latin word that means to rob, to take, and to exclude. Public means that we all have access to the basic things that we need in our human society. So do we want such things as food and education and healthcare and housing to be taken away from us, to be excluded from those basic things?
No.
On the other end of it, right, a small group of people are benefiting from this debt through interest predominantly, right? So who are those people? And this small group of people are also benefiting from privatization because they're paying less to fix the roads, they're paying less to fund schools, they're paying less to give us health care, right? Yes. So we're also paying in that way, and someone is benefiting, profiting. So one of the things that Jonathan actually talked about at the radio show was abolition. A lot of people assume abolition is just to get rid of something, but it's not. It's actually dismantling while at the same time asking, right, is food a human right? Is education a human right? Is housing a human right? And it's also about building a new humanized way of being with each other in the world so that we don't have people who are private, in Latin means excluded or being robbed. And just even my own experience as a student, I have a huge student debt. I'm also a student currently at the University of Massachusetts in Boston, where we are actually ready to strike because we're as students, because we're a department, urban education and leadership, where all my professors are women of color. 70% of us are people of color, students of color. And the public institution is defunding our department, right? Which is another form of debt. They're taking away, robbing us of education again. So I think, again, John, I took a lot from his interview in that there is strength in collective work, in working together. There's more strength. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nina, and I really want to pick up where you left off about the strength in the collective. Because this week we saw when they announced cuts to the pension plan for teachers, we saw teachers respond and act collectively, and now that plan is off the table.
And state workers.
Also state workers, thank you, Ellen, my bad.
Okay.
And
For them too.
And when we talk about student debt, we've been on strike since the day that Biden was inaugurated. And right now, the Debt Collective nationwide is doing a national week of action. And it is no coincidence that during that week, Joe Biden has announced that he's having his Department of Education look into possibilities for cancellation in a way that they have not before. Collective action works, striking works, and being together in community is what builds the bonds to make that happen. And so now at this point, we're a decently small, intimate group, and I just wanted to invite people, if anyone feels comfortable, to share a little bit about maybe their debt story or why this issue is so important to them. Because I know we all have, the ways that debt intersects with different parts of our lives and the way that it changes the decisions we can make and how we can show up, and there's a lot of power in that, because when you say you're not paying your debt, so many people respond to you, but you took that money out, you have to. And there's shame around it, of course you have to pay your debt. And we really need to push back on that. And so I would invite anyone, if you feel comfortable to come up and share. You don't have to do it on the megaphone so that the whole intersection can hear you, but I just want to invite that into the space if people feel comfortable. So, seeing as it seems Joe don't want to share, which is totally fine. I think the next thing that we want to do as a group is to do a debt burn. Now, a debt burn is just like our strike. There might not be material leverage with 100 people striking against, the whole federal government system of student loans, but there is so much symbolic leverage and there is moral power in what we are doing. And so for a debt burn, you can write your amount of debt, you can write anything you want on a little piece of paper, and then we're gonna burn them. We're gonna light them on fire. And just as we want our student debt to be canceled, we are going to burn this debt right now. So we've got pieces of paper over here on this table. If people wanna write down their debt, and then we can get on with the debt burn.
Woo! Oh, there you go. Very nice.
Anybody else need a piece of paper? Anybody else got something to burn? Somebody you know? Somebody you know. Even if it's not you, somebody you know who's under because of debt. There you go.
Do you want to burn it yourself?
Everyone's going to burn down, or you guys are going to burn it?
Sure, well, no, we were thinking that we would pass around a lighter.
Let me ask you, darling, that, you know what I mean?
And it's a little warmer than it was yesterday.
I don't think so because they're so small.
86,000 in debt, and I refuse to pay any of it. It's heavy.
So I just like somehow the wind got See, it's collective. The Dust Capacity Collective.
Yeah, careful of your fingers.
Woo! Woo! Will you keep an eye on her?
Put it down and
by the road.
step on it.
That's awesome. You want to put them by your sign? Okay. I have $48,000 in debt. When I finished my degree, I had $49,000 in debt, and that was more than 10 years ago. So it's not going anywhere, and I'm not going to pay it. Woo! 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 If I can light it. Thank you. Why did you do yours so flamey? I can also just crumple it up.
What is you roll it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Fold it. After you
Always,
She has something on fire.
That's okay. Then you can. There you go.
Woo!
I have 31.
Zero.
Just myself, and my parents took out a little bit more for me.
Why did it go?
Because I'm not going to pay that money. So it's a symbolic gesture to say, I'm not going to pay that money. I'm not giving all that money to them.
So there we go.
Okay, honey.
And
The wind makes it so hard.
Oh! It's like the candlelight vigil.
Nice.
that's all right.
Yeah. This was on Oh, yes.
This is really.
What about 2 lighters at once?
Yeah. Is there
Not a
another?
bad idea.
Yeah. You have another one?
Collective burn.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is hard. Oh, oh, something's happening. Something's happening. Something's happening. Awesome.
Thank you.
Liam is my partner. He has $53,000 in student debt, and his dad, my father-in-law, took out another $30,000 in student debt. And I'm just gonna go Hulk style.
Yeah, I like that.
I've got 22,000. My family all in has about 40. And I'm also burning this for the 1.8 trillion that we all hold together. I'm trying to burn this.
Woo!
Nice and slow burn.
But it'll burn.
Touch over 50. And some of these are state loans. Anybody have state loans here? Those suck. Paying those the whole pandemic. Yep. Yeah. Probably pay them forever.
Not if we have our win.
That's true.
Oh, whoa, yeah, I want that.
Howard.
Yeah, Pat. Yeah, I can feel it.
Oh, you have it right here. Okay.
I would like to say that God is real and this debt is not.
Josh, I'm $28,000 in school debt, and I'm not paying it. Yeah. No one's paying it.
I don't have any debt right now. My mother does. She has more debt every day than she did the last. She'll probably die before she can pay it all off, which is a morbid thought. But capitalism is lethal, so on that note.
There you go. Yeah. That's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I have a huge student debt. It's so embarrassing, but as you said, it is not real. No one's gonna pay it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Burn it right now. Oh gosh.
Get that mega lighter over there. Yeah.
Wait, the wind. My hair's gonna hurt. Is there a mega lighter? Okay. All right.
Like a mini flamethrower or something.
Oh, yeah. Knock it out.
You gotta be careful then, yeah, you don't.
I think so.
And let capitalism die with it too. Enough.
So this is for my grandson. He has $40,000 of debt after going to a state school in New Hampshire and getting a lot of scholarship on top of that. And so this is for Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. And I think like it just might not.
You won't actually see it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
The right shoes for it. Because you were right next to him.
I know.
I don't actually have any student debt myself either. But I did, and it took me 20-something years to pay it off. And there was times when I had to decide whether I was going to eat or pay my loans. And guess what I decided to do? Eat.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is for all the people who do have all kinds of debt. Medical debt I think about a lot, especially during this pandemic. It all needs to go. It all needs to go.
Amen.
Woo!
Yeah.
Slow burn. Get a slow burn too. There you go. Through to the crowd.
Woo! 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 Okay. When I graduated in May in 2005, I had $63,000. I've been paying when I could, pretty much all the time, an income-based repayment. I now owe this, probably more. I stopped looking because I don't care, because guess what? I'm not paying. I'm 62 years old. You do the math. You think this is going to be paid before I'm dead? No.
You go, girl.
This is, it won't look like it's doing anything, and then it will.
Yeah, and thank you to all of you for coming out.
Yeah. Our first action.
Yeah. First of many.
Good job, y'all. Thank you for organizing that. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Josh with the Brattleboro Food Distribution Network. We're here today. This is our second week out distributing food to the community. We're here also in support of the debt collection organization that's having their event today. As much as we believe that food is an important part and a human right and should be free and accessible to all people, we also believe that debt and debt collection does not do our community good either. So we're here in support of them today. As I said, we're the Brattleboro Food Distribution Network. We come out to Brattleboro. We're members of the community. We live here, live in the area, and our mission is to provide food to people, anybody. We turn no one away. We want to see that our community's fed and healthy and safe. So it's a small step that we do, but we think it's a really important one. The other part of our program is that we have a Seed Start initiative where people can take home some seeds, a tray, and some soil for themselves, start growing a little bit of food, and then they can bring some of that food back after they've taken what they need from it. And then we'll take that food and bring that back into distribution. We're also linked with other regional organizations out in Boston and Portland, Maine, and Connecticut, Rhode Island as well. And so part of our initiative is to help bring some food to those areas and have some resources and food come back from those areas as well too. So really just not keeping it just local, but also regional as well.
So you also believe that education should be free of charge?
Yeah, so education is a big part of what we do too. We want people to know that food is not just a luxury. It's not something that appears out of thin air. It takes human cultivation to make it work. As you see here on our table, you know, it takes people power to get people their resources. And not everyone has the ability to access those resources. So we really are here to let people know that even if it's a small thing like growing a tomato plant for yourself or a pepper plant, you'll feed yourself and you can also feed your community in small ways. So again, part of that education is letting people know that they can have a piece in making the world a better place and a safer one too for people. So part of our mission and goal too is to see that education for people around food and how it's grown is done as well. We believe that education should be free from pre-K all the way to as long as people want to keep studying. College doesn't have to be in your 20s. You can go back to college in your 50s, 60s, whenever. So, you know, like I said before, food is not just something that appears out of thin air. It's something that it takes an understanding of. It takes practice. Yeah, it takes practice, and it takes a community as well, because while we are our own organization, we recognize that there are other groups in town doing this work as well of providing food justice for people. And we support their work, and we also recognize that it doesn't have to be just one or two people doing that work, which is why we're out here, to make sure that people can have the experience and the knowledge, the know-how to grow food, and that they can feed their community as well. We really do our best to make sure that the people that we're meeting on the street, online, know that we're here for the community, that all of the people that we interact with and work for in our goals are important to us. We care about our community and the people living in it. So again, we just want to make sure that people recognize that food is something that is a right. Everyone should have access to food, free food, and that everyone should have access to education, free education.
Now, could you say something about supporting the local farmers?
Yeah. We also support our local farmers. They do a heck of a job every day, day in, day out, all year round, making sure that the food and the resources that go into food are done right and done for people so that they can live healthy lives. It's a livelihood for our farmers, and we want to make sure that our farmers are compensated fairly and justly for their work that they do. We want to make sure that the farmers know that we support them, that if they were to be in struggle as they are at times, that we're there for them. The community is there for them. We don't turn our backs on the people that grow our food.